Okay, Peter. So yes, we done with this one during our last session, in which I gave you the displayed form of this CH3, CHO, SCN. Just in case if you missed that, I'm just going to give you again CH, H. This is aldehyde, which is called ethanol, and we will do it in our organic section. So after doing organic, these displayed formulas are easier for you. Okay, so this is H, 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 and then you have C, O, H, and then H, and then C triple bond N. Okay, now just count how many carbon hydrogen bonds you have. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on this side you have 5 carbon hydrogen bond plus you have 1 carbon carbon bond. So I'm just going to write 1 carbon carbon bond, 1 carbon double bond oxygen plus 1 carbon triple covalent bond nitrogen. Okay, did I mark all these? Yes, that's my habit. Whenever I'm counting any particular bond in a displayed formula, okay, I'm always placing a mark on it so that I won't miss any of these bond. ये common error है कि आप bond count करना भूल जाते हैं. Now carbon hydrogen 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 carbon hydrogen bond plus 1, 2. 2 carbon carbon bond plus 1 carbon oxygen bond plus 1 oxygen hydrogen bond and 1 carbon triple covalent bond carbon. You can also cancel the similar type of bonds on both sides, but I suggest just plug in all the values. Okay? When you subtract it, it already get cancelled out. So अगर आप वैसे cancel out करेंगे, there's a chance that आप जो है वो कुछ ना कुछ confusion create कर दें. All these bond energies are given in your question. Okay, so these are the bond energy data which is given. So you can see, acha, there is a, you can see carbon double bond oxygen. There are two values given for carbon double bond oxygen, 740 and 805. Whenever you have to use C double bond O in carbon dioxide only. In carbon dioxide, then use 805. Otherwise, for all organic compound, use 740. Now you have to plug in all those value and just do delta H. Just do delta H is equals to bond breaking minus bond formation. And this is basically bond breaking reactants. And this is bond formation. Bond formation and bond breaking, both values are positive because you already placed a negative sign in the formula. It will give you the correct enthalpy change value with the correct sign. Okay, clear? I hope you can do it. So next wala part to bahut hi aasan hai. You can easily do it and we done with this one. Ammonia wala हमने कर लिया था. Now, in this question, they ask you about the what is meant by the term is standard enthalpy change of a reaction. You can see they ask the definition of reaction. When given amount of reactants react together to form product under standard conditions. Okay. Now, in this question, it says the enthalpy change of hydration of anhydrous magnesium sulfate. Now, hydration is not a part of AS anymore, but this question is still a part of our syllabus. They could ask you about any enthalpy change. It says in the first experiment, 45 grams of water was weighed into a polystyrene cup and 3.01 grams of magnesium sulfate was added. Okay, clear? So you can see this is liquid and this is solid. So if you apply Q is equals to MC delta T, Q is equals to M should be 45 or 48? 45. Excellent. We do not include the mass of solid. 4.18. Take it, sorry, why it's minus. Multiply by delta T, which is 34.7. Take out your calculator, please. Minus 23.4. So Q, which is the energy released or absorbed, is going to be, do not include mass of solid. Okay? 2025. Hmm? Just 45 into 4.18 into 34.7 minus 30, 23.4. 2125.5. Okay. Yeah, that's the right answer because the value is in joules. Whenever you apply the Q is equal to MC delta T, the value is always in thousand, mostly in thousand. Calculate the amount in moles of magnesium sulfate. Okay. Now, the mass of magnesium sulfate is 3.01. So M is 3.01 grams. Okay. And then you need the MR of magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is 24.1. आपको MgSO4 का sulfur is 32.1 and oxygen is 16. Calculate the MR. 4 times of 16 plus 32.1 plus 24.1. MR. We do just have to add. It's not possible. 16 into 3 and 16 into 4 plus 32.1 plus 24. क्या हो गया भाई? 0.028. Are you sure? Give me a calculator. 0.025. ठीक है? Now, calculate the enthalpy change of solution. ठीक है? यानी enthalpy change calculate करना है, you know that delta H is equals to minus Q, which must be in a kilojoules divided by number of moles of solid. So delta H is equals to minus Q. Q is 2125.5. So अगर मैं 2125.5 को डिवाइडेड बाय 1000 कर दूंगा तो कितना आ जाएगा भाई? 2.125 divided by number of moles 0.025. Okay. Minus 85 kilojoules per mole. ठीक है? So that's how you calculate the enthalpy change of a reaction. ठीक है? याद रखिएगा, no matter whatever the enthalpy change they are asking, simply आप उसे apply कर देंगे. अच्छा, this concept, देखिए, this concept is typical a concept of like the hydration, but you can easily see, देखिए, enthalpy change of solution वो होती है when 1 mole of a solid is dissolved in water. ठीक है? तो अगर आप इस पे अप्लाई करना चाह रहे हैं, so you can apply it, concept clear हो जाएगा. देखिए, if I dissolve this one, which is an anhydrous salt, in excess of water, it will get dissolved, forming Mg aqueous plus SO4 2 minus aqueous, and this is called enthalpy change of solution of MgSO4. देखो टॉप पे हमने कैलकुलेट किया minus 85 kilojoules per mole. If I need this value, अच्छा, अगर मैं इसको वाटर में डिसॉल्व करूंगा तो ये भी यही आइंस देगा. ठीक है? And this is the value given is plus 9.060. Clear? Up, can you identify which one is the direct route? This one is a direct route and this one is a indirect route. And according to the Hess law, delta H जो आपको calculate करनी है plus 9.60, which is equals to minus 85. Indirect is equals to direct. So delta H, which you have to calculate, is minus 85 माइनस 9.60। अब क्या आएगा आंसर? माइनस 94.6 किलो जूल्स पर मोल। ठीक है। As I said many times, this is a typical concept of solubility. If you won't get it, don't worry about it. अगर नहीं समझ आया, लेकिन आपको थोड़ा सा इसका कॉन्सेप्ट होना चाहिए। देखिए, कुछ और आ रहा है सर। बिकॉज पहले ही हम एएस में बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ाते थे कॉन्सेप्ट सॉलिबिलिटी का। ठीक है, लेकिन देखिए कॉन्सेप्ट ये है कि इफ यू हैव एनहाइड्रस सॉल्ट, एनहाइड्रस सॉल्ट का मतलब पता है ना, द सॉल्ट विदाउट वाटर, और अ हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट, when you dissolve both in excess of water, they both get dissolved, but the amount of energy released or absorbed is slightly different. देखें आप, एनहाइड्रस सॉल्ट डिसॉल्व हो रहा है, द एनर्जी इज रिलीज व्हिच इज माइनस 85 किलो जूल्स पर मोल, एंड व्हेन द हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट इज गेटिंग डिसॉल्व, इट्स एन एंडोथर्मिक प्रोसेस, and energy is plus 9.60. ठीक है, so that's how you're going to handle this question. This is so quickly one. The data of formation is given, and delta H R is given, and they're asking about the enthalpy change of formation of NO. ये find out. Can we do the product minus reactant concept again? हम 4NO की जगह पर X लगा देते हैं, 4X लगा देते हैं और X की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं. So as the data of formation is given, can I say that 4 times NH3 की formation है minus 46, and what about the oxygen? Oxygen is going to be 0. 4NO we have to find out, so I'm just keeping it as it is. 6 times of H2O, and the H2O is minus 242. As we know that delta H is product minus reactant because the data of formation is given. So delta H, which is minus 906, is equals to product, which is 4NO plus 6 times of minus 242. ठीक है, product minus reactant, which is 4 times of minus 46. Clear? So can you find out the NO value? बस आप इसमें 4NO की वैल्यू आपके पास आ जाएगी, whatever it is. Just find out the value of enthalpy change of 1NO, delta HF of NO. ठीक है, kilojoules per mole में आपके पास आंसर आ जाएगा. Now you have all the value given. There is only one variable. ठीक है, प्लस माइनस करके just try to find out that variable. Clear? So enthalpy change of formation में, it is possible that they give you the enthalpy change of a reaction, they give you the formation of all other reactant or product, and there is any variable यानी any formation is missing, और आपको वो formation find out करनी पड़े. Answer. चलो बाद में देखेंगे. ठीक है, just do it. I'm sure that you can easily calculate it. Now the next one is, now देखिए, अब most of the student, like what they normally do, they won't revise the theoretical stuff. कि भाई डेफिनेशन अच्छे से रिवाइज नहीं करते, इक्वेशन लिखने की प्रैक्टिस नहीं होती, तो ये 3-4 मार्क्स तो चले आते हैं. दे डू गुड इन प्रोडक्ट माइनस रिएक्टेंट, रिएक्टेंट माइनस प्रोडक्ट, वो तो अच्छा कर लेते हैं, लेकिन दीज थिंग्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट. कैन यू राइट डाउन द बैलेंस इक्वेशन फॉर द कंप्लीट कंबशन ऑफ CS2? ट्राई करें. कार्बन डाइसल्फाइड, and they're asking about the balance equation for the complete combustion of CS2. So CS2 plus O2, what should be the product? It's already given, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. So 2 sulfur, so 2 SO2. 2 to the 4 plus 2, 6. So यहाँ पे लगा दिया 3. Now this is the balance equation. Clear? They don't need a state symbol. लेकिन अगर चाह रहे हैं तो you can write this one as a gas as well. Gas, gas. ठीक है? अगर स्टेट सिंबल नहीं पूछे और आप दे भी रहे हैं और वो गलत भी हो जाते हैं, तो इट डजंट मैटर, बट दे व्हेन दे आस्क अबाउट द स्टेट सिंबल, एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू राइट द करेक्ट स्टेट सिंबल. enthalpy change of a combustion, I am sure that you can write down the definition of it. ठीक है, so definition and equation always word for 3 marks, and we done with this one. कर लिया था. नहीं, कैलकुलेट द एंथैल्पी चेंज ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ CS2, हमें फाइंड आउट क्या करना है, फॉर्मेशन फाइंड आउट करनी है, ठीक है। और स्टैंडर्ड एंथैल्पी चेंज ऑफ कंबस्शन वैल्यू इज गिवन, कंबस्शन वैल्यू कितनी गिवन है जनाब, -1110। अब मुझे सिर्फ जस्ट रीड दैट क्वेश्चन एंड लेट मी नो, आइदर आप इस पे प्रोडक्ट माइनस रिएक्टेंट अप्लाई करेंगे या रिएक्टेंट माइनस, ओके। देखें, एज अ सेट के वट एवर यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट, चाहे आपको फॉर्मेशन फाइंड आउट करनी हो या रिएक्शन फाइंड आउट करनी हो, सॉल्यूशन फाइंड आउट करनी हो, हाइड्रेशन करनी हो, न्यूट्रलाइजेशन करनी हो, वट एवर इट इज, बट if the data of combustion is given, always do reactant minus, but the data of formation is also given, है ना? How can you say that that's combustion? Excellent. Basically, as I said in the last class, don't worry about carbon and a carbon dioxide. Don't worry about hydrogen and water or sulfur. These are basically actually the combustion of sulfur and the combustion of carbon is given. So it means that all these data is the data of combustion. So that's why we have to do reactant minus product. So can I say that delta H, सबसे पहले तो हम इसकी इक्वेशन लिखेंगे फॉर्मेशन की, CS2 फॉर्मिंग फॉर्म फ्रॉम कार्बन प्लस 2 टाइम्स ऑफ सल्फर। यहाँ एक कंफ्यूजन ये आता है, बच्चे कहते हैं सर sulfur exists in a S8 form, okay, so do we have to write down it as S8? तो S8 लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, नॉर्मल सल्फर से आप बैलेंस कर सकते हैं, okay। Combustion of CS2 is -1110. Combustion of carbon, which is the formation of carbon dioxide, is 395 plus 2 times combustion of sulfur is 298. So these are your reactant, this is your product. Just do delta H is equals to reactant minus product, and delta H is going to be reactant, which is -395 plus 2 times of -298 minus product -1110. Make sure that you just good. So enthalpy change of formation of CS2 is equals to -119 kilojoules per mole. ठीक है, हो जाएंगे इस तरह के क्वेश्चन। We done with this one, reactant minus. So अब मैं P2 से I must just the same format के question है, either the data of formation is given or either the data of combustion is given. देखें, this is the data of, you can, your main compound is CS2 and they gave you the combustion of CS2 and they're asking about the enthalpy change of formation of CS2. जिस format का question अभी solve किया है, बिल्कुल same format है. This you have to do reactant minus. क्यों? क्योंकि this is the combustion of carbon is given and this is the combustion of hydrogen given. ठीक है, so do reactant minus product. लेकिन किस पे करेंगे reactant minus product? Equation कहाँ है? Equation बनानी है. You have to write down the equation of C2H2. हाँ, 2 carbon, sorry, 2 carbon plus hydrogen. ठीक है, so ये equation आपको खुद से बनानी पड़ेगी and then you have to apply either the reactant minus product or product minus reactant, whatever it is. Clear? ये दोनों equations लिख लेंगे ना आराम से, combustion of C2H2 and the formation of C2H2. ठीक है जी, and this one is easier. Okay, they gave you this equation and the displayed format. This equation is the O levels form, very easy. देखिए, this is C2H plus hydrogen single bond fluorine in a similar way as you have HCl, CCH, H, H, and then H, and then fluorine. ठीक है? Clear? Delta HR is given and they ask you to find out the bond energy of carbon fluorine bond. So we know that here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon hydrogen bond plus 1 carbon double bond carbon plus 1 hydrogen single bond fluorine forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 carbon hydrogen bond plus one carbon carbon bond plus one carbon fluorine bond. So delta H is equals to bond breaking, which is this one, minus bond formation, which is this one. So BB minus BF करेंगे, the only variable is this one. अच्छा, इसकी value data में given नहीं होगी, not even, it's not even present in a data booklet. ठीक है, so you have to find out the carbon fluorine bond energy value. आ जाएगी ना आराम से, clear? इसमें थोड़ा सा साइन का बच्चों को sometime confusion होता है. Product minus reactant, है ना? The data of formation is given. Okay. Although the above reaction is a highly exothermic reaction, indication आपको अपने आंसर चेक करने का भी मौका मिल जाएगा. If your answer is positive, it means that कि आपने reaction जो है वो सही नहीं बनाया. Hydrogen does not burn spontaneously in oxygen. देखो, ज्यादा हमारी prediction ये है कि whenever you have a highly exothermic reaction, it should burn spontaneously. Spontaneously का मतलब all those reaction that once it started keep going on. चलते रहते हैं until one of the reactant get finished. ठीक है? So for this particular reaction, it says that although the reaction is highly exothermic, but that reaction do not burn spontaneously. इसका सिर्फ एक reason होता है, if you have any reaction which is not a spontaneous reaction, means it has a high activation energy. ठीक है? It always has a high activation energy. That's why the reaction do not accomplished by a spontaneous reaction. ठीक है? So all exothermic हमारी prediction ये होती है कि the reaction is an spontaneous reaction, but the reaction is not spontaneous. So उसका मतलब ये हुआ कि उसकी activation energy value high हो. Combustion data is given, but the combustion of water is missing. Why? Because the value is water is always a combustion product. ठीक है? So water की combustion given नहीं होगी. Now you can see P2 questions are easier. लग रहा है ना easy? Again Q is equal to MC delta T का एक बहुत simple सा question है. 1 gram of calcium is placed. Again the same question which we had done. अभी किया है हमने. Okay. You remember this diagram? हाँ जी, product minus reactant और reactant minus product. Reactant minus product, because you have to find out this enthalpy change and all the data of combustion is given. ठीक है जी, I'm sure that now you can handle all these questions. This is the question in which you have to find out the enthalpy change of a reaction with the data of formation. Product minus reactant करेंगे and get it done. अच्छा, we haven't done the mechanism for this right now. It's a free radical substitution mechanism. Free radical reactions आप O levels में पढ़ कर आए. वैसे इसमें होगा ये कि you have two activation energy barrier because this reaction undergoes by two step and the reaction is exothermic or endothermic, whatever it is. So आप इसको two activation energy के barrier के साथ बनाएंगे. Reaction की enthalpy change पीछे यहाँ आ चुकी होगी, ठीक है? If the answer is positive, तो आप endothermic बनाएंगे. If the answer is negative, वैसे this reaction takes place in the UV light, so the reaction is an endothermic reaction. याद है ना, chlorine react with alkane in the presence of sunlight or UV light. O levels में पढ़ा था ना? That's the same free radical substitution mechanism. Now you have to do the rest of the question. In case if you face any issue, मुझे बताइएगा. And then let's do one more last thing in this topic. Okay. Question number 9. वैसे 9 से पहले हम एक नजर में आपको 10 दिखा देता हूँ. देखें, whatever the calculation you did in your paper 2, they asking paper 2 में 3-4 marks का पूछा जाता है, but in paper 1 they asking the same calculation but for 1 mark. You can see you have to find out the enthalpy change of this particular reaction. सही है? and the data of, so 2 times of SO3 minus 2 times of SO2, we do product minus react. इस तरह के सिंपल से क्वेश्चन आते हैं, ठीक है? Clear? In a similar way, you can see this question. The enthalpy change of formation of TiO2 is given and carbon monoxide is given. Means this is the equation, and the enthalpy change of formation of this and this is given, and they're asking about the enthalpy change of a reaction. So formation का data given है, तो product minus reactant, and these values are these elements है ना? Formation of element is 0. दिखाने का मकसद ये है कि they simply ask this question, या फिर क्वेश्चन एक फॉर्मेट ये भी आता है. दिस इज द लास्ट थिंग, ठीक है? पढ़िए क्वेश्चन. आयोडीन ट्राइक्लोराइड इज मेड बाय रिएक्टिंग आयोडीन विद क्लोरीन. Okay, and these equations do not represent the formation of iodine trichloride from iodine and chlorine. उन्होंने इंडिविजुअल स्टेप्स दे दिए आपको, सही है? Clear? By using the above data, calculate the enthalpy change of formation. Okay, now this is not reaction is sorry, formation given nahi hai, not even the combustion is given. Can I write down the equation for the formation of ICl3, solid ICl3 from iodine and chlorine? Am I right? This is the right equation, balanced equation. Just check. Yes? अब देखो आपने करना क्या है. This is your target equation, जिसकी delta H you have to find out. Use these two equations and try to make this equation. Whatever you operation you do on these two equations, वही आपने enthalpy change पे भी करना है. अब देखें, in equation number 1, I can see I have 1 mole of iodine solid, and in my required equation I have how many moles? Half moles, है ना? So should I divide first equation by 2? तो मेरे पास ये half हो जाएगा, ये 1 हो जाएगा, और enthalpy change हो जाएगा plus 7 kilojoules per mole. Done? Now, after dividing by 2, if I add these two equations, ICl get cancelled out, because in my required equation there is no ICl, है ना? और half iodine ऐसे ही आ जाएगा. half chlorine में 1 chlorine add होगा तो 1.5, like 3/2 chlorine हो जाएगा. On the right hand side is only ICl3 remaining, and the enthalpy change -81. कैसे आया? जब मैंने दो इक्वेशंस को ऐड किया तो मैं इन दोनों नंबर्स को भी ऐड करूंगा, which is -81. So this is the answer. So you have to simultaneously solve these two equations and try to make the required equation. This is not difficult. There are 2-3 questions in the past paper like this. So just try to make your individual equation. अब देखो आपकी नजर जो है वो टारगेट इक्वेशन पे होनी चाहिए, जो बनानी है, जिसकी enthalpy change required है. मैंने देखा I have iodine solid on the left hand side with half mole, और फर्स्ट इक्वेशन में iodine solid था 1 mole, मैंने पूरी इक्वेशन 2 से डिवाइड कर दी with enthalpy change. And then I saw there is no ICl in the overall equation, but in these two equations ICl is on the opposite side. So if I add these two equations, the ICl get cancelled out. ठीक है, हो जाएगा. Okay. This is a slightly different question about the neutralization. The table shows the enthalpy change of neutralization per mole of water, delta H, for various acids and bases. पहले मुझे बताइए, hydrochloric acid is strong acid and sodium hydroxide is strong base. So whenever you have a strong acid and a strong base, the enthalpy change is -57. Now, you're keeping the same strong base with acid P, the enthalpy change decreases. So can I say that P must be a weak acid, and in the table, the weak acids are this one and okay. So either the answer is A or the answer is B. The next part. Now they keep the same strong acid, but when enthalpy change further drop, it means that Q must be a weak base. Excellent. So it must be a weak base. And in the list, the weak base is ammonia or sodium hydroxide? Ammonia. So my right answer is A. Nitric acid is a very strong acid, and enthalpy change is minus 57. Again, the same. It means that the R must be a strong base. And the strong base is potassium hydroxide. Group 1 or group 2 hydroxides are the strong base. Enthalpy change, it says the reaction is proceed by 2 steps. Okay. If any reaction is proceed by 2 steps, there must be 2 activation energy barriers, like in option A or option D. ठीक है ना? कोई भी reaction, ये आपके पास C and B are the enthalpy profile diagram of a single step reaction. Okay? अब मुझे बताइए in which one X से Y जाने वाली enthalpy change positive है, A में और D में? देखिए, this is, मैं थोड़ा zoom करके आपको कराता हूँ. This is the enthalpy of a reactant and this is the enthalpy of a product. For all endothermic reaction, the product enthalpy is greater and the reactant enthalpy is less. तो इसका मतलब पॉजिटिव एंथैल्पी चेंज फर्स्ट स्टेप की ऑप्शन ए में है, डी में दिस इज एन एक्सोथर्मिक. यू गॉट दिस पॉइंट? अच्छा, इन अ सिमिलर वे they can ask the same question by giving you the rather than giving you the positive or the negative value, मतलब पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव वर्ड के बजाय पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव वैल्यूज के साथ भी पूछ सकते हैं वो आपसे. ठीक है? एंथैल्पी चेंज ऑफ फॉर्मेशन, which equation represents the enthalpy change of formation? हम कर चुके हैं क्वेश्चन. A B C D. A no, B no. Why no? Because on the left hand side there must be element formation hai. There must be element. Only in D you can see potassium, manganese, oxygen are an element and 1 mole of KMnO4 is formed. ठीक है? अच्छा, आयोडीन वाले फॉर्मेट पे ही सॉल्व होगा क्वेश्चन नंबर 14. ठीक है? अच्छा, you can flip the equation as well. Means you can see that in the required equation we have carbon dioxide on the left hand side, है ना? But in the equation number 1, the carbon dioxide is on a right hand side. So you can flip the equation and you can change the sign of this to 83. Clear? और फिर उसके बाद ऐड करो, सब्ट्रैक्ट करो. I'm leaving this one so you can practice it and I'm sure that you can get the right answer. We done with this one? ये वाला हो गया था? Okay. Stage 1 and stage 2, it means that these are not the enthalpy changes. Why? Because these are for a single step. But my reaction proceed by 2 steps. Okay, so either C or D. Now it says the activation energy of a stage 1 is plus 50. Okay, activation energy is always from the reactant till the top of the peak. So these are the activation energies of a stage 1 for option C and D. तो कौन सा ऑप्शन ठीक है? प्लस 50 किसमें है आंसर? Yes, C is the right answer. Plus 50 is the activation energy of a stage 1. ठीक है? Again, can you solve this one? Take your time. हाँ भाई. What's like what is different between the enthalpy change of formation equation for iron 3 oxide and this given equation? Different क्या है? What is different? here you have 2 moles are formed, है ना, और लेफ्ट साइड पे रिएक्टेंट्स हैं आपके पास, तो सिंपल डिफरेंस क्या है, डिफरेंस ये है, एंड द आंसर इज, हाँ, वी कैन नॉट सॉल्व इट लाइक दिस, अगर लेफ्ट साइड पे एलिमेंट्स नहीं होते तो वी कैन नॉट सॉल्व लाइक दिस, ठीक है। So as we can see, on the left hand side you have elements, on the right hand side you have one, or you have 2 moles of Fe2O3. So just divide the value by 2 and you'll get your enthalpy change of reaction, ठीक है। Now this question, question number 18. Again, it says the standard enthalpy change of formation of HCl and HI are -92 and plus. Okay. This value is for HCl and this value is for HI. Okay. Which is statement most important for explaining this? Chlorine is more electronegative than, there's nothing to deal with electronegativity and this enthalpy change of formation. ठीक है? The activation energy, again, activation energy is related to the rate of reaction, not with the enthalpy change. Now, it says the bond energy of HI. अच्छा, HI कहां पर होगा? प्रोडक्ट साइड पर होगा या रिएक्टेंट साइड पर होगा फॉर्मेशन की इक्वेशन में? इट मींस दैट, इसका मतलब यह है कि HI की वैल्यू स्मॉल है, यानी एक्सोथर्मिक वैल्यू स्मॉल है, ठीक है, और HCl की एक्सोथर्मिक वैल्यू ज्यादा है। तो कौन से रिएक्शन के एक्सोथर्मिक होने के चांसेस हैं? HCl के, और ऊपर वाली इक्वेशन में देखें HCl एक्सो है, एंडो है, और HI, it means that C is the most, yes. In a D option देखें, the bond energy of iodine is smaller than the bond energy of chlorine. Okay. Iodine and chlorine are on the left hand side, यानी iodine में ज्यादा एनर्जी जो है वो रिक्वायर्ड होगी, ठीक है, क्लियर। आयोडीन के बॉन्ड ब्रेक हो रहे हैं, सॉरी, कम एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड होगी, क्लियर, यानी आयोडीन की एंडोथर्मिक वैल्यू स्मॉल है और क्लोरीन की एंडोथर्मिक वैल्यू लार्ज है। इस स्टेटमेंट के अकॉर्डिंगली तो क्लोरीन वाले को एंडोथर्मिक होना चाहिए, पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए, बट क्लोरीन वाला रिएक्शन इज नेगेटिव। तो आप रिलेट किया आपने कि सी ऑप्शन इज द मोस्ट रेलेवेंट आंसर, ठीक है। बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन एक्सोथर्मिक होती है, जिसकी बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन ज्यादा होगी, इट मींस दैट दैट रिएक्शन इज गोइंग टू बी एन एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग जिसकी ज्यादा, नो, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू वन statement about this, as the atomization is now a part of our A2 syllabus. Atomization में याद रखिएगा, the enthalpy change in which 1 mole of gaseous atom from its element। आसान हो गया, कोई इतनी मुश्किल चीज नहीं है, ऑल्दो इट्स एन A2, लेकिन हम एक वन लाइनर पढ़ लेते हैं तो हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है। 1 mole of gaseous atom from its element, so 1 mole of gaseous atom का मतलब this one should be wrong, this one should be wrong, this one is correct in terms of bromine। 1 mole of gas from its element, तो अब मुझे बताओ कौन सी एलिमेंट की फॉर्म ठीक लिखी हुई है? C is right because bromine is liquid, fluorine, chlorine are gases, bromine is liquid and iodine is solid। Now keeping this one in mind, solve this one। 20 wrong, B, why? Because atom की physical state हमेशा gas है। Okay, in this question the values are missing, ये values हमारे पास बुकलेट में printed हैं, ठीक है। Is it visible? Yes. Some bond energy values are given. These bond energy values related to the four reaction, आपको लिखना है इनको मोस्ट नेगेटिव से मोस्ट पॉजिटिव की तरफ। मुझे बताइए, इन ऑप्शन पी, Br2 फॉर्मिंग 2Br, क्या प्रोसेस हो रहा है? बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन, बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग, bond breaking, and how many bromine bond is being broken down? एक 1, and what is the bond energy is, and bond breaking is always positive, ठीक है? So the value should be plus 193. Agreed? The second one, chlorine 2Cl से Cl2 बन रहा है. It is a bond formation. Okay, and the bond formation value of chlorine is 244. Bond formation is negative, so it is minus 244. In the R step, there is a carbon chlorine bond form. ऐसा ही है ना? Okay, and bond formation is always negative, and carbon chlorine is 340. And then the last one is carbon hydrogen bond break हुए. Bond breaking is positive, and carbon hydrogen bond is 4. Now the most negative is R. R के बाद आपके पास आएगा Q. Q के बाद आएगा P, और P के बाद आएगा S. The answer is C. ठीक है? In this question, they ask, like, they're just checking that you have a concept of a bond breaking and a bond formation, which value is endothermic, which value is exothermic. Same question, ठीक है? But you have to find out the enthalpy change of a formation of ICl3. Should I do it or you try it by yourself? देखिए, now you have to find out the equation. Enthalpy change of formation of ICl3 is this one: half iodine solid plus 3/2 Cl2 gas. State symbol is very important. Now you can see ऊपर वाली इक्वेशन में और नीचे वाला, गौर से देखें इक्वेशन. इफ आई डिवाइड द अबव इक्वेशन, or if I simply add these two equations, iodine gas cancel out, and you will get I2 solid plus 3 Cl2 gas forming 2 ICl3. और वैल्यू दोनों को ऐड कीजिए, वैल्यू बताइए. -214 plus 38. यूसुफ, I just added equation number 1 and equation number 2. Minus 1 minus 214 plus 38 minus 176. Okay, now this is my target equation. क्लियर? और ये वाली इक्वेशन की इंथैल्पी चेंज मुझे चाहिए. अब मुझे बताइए व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस, क्या फर्क है इन दोनों में. दिस इज अननोन. शुड आई डिवाइड द होल इक्वेशन बाय 2, है ना? If I divide the whole equation by 2, enthalpy change by 2, I'll get this answer, which is minus. क्योंकि मुझे नजर आ रहा था कि ऐड करने पे ये दोनों ऐड हो जाएंगे, which is iodine solid plus Cl2 gas, और iodine gas get cancelled out. मेरी इक्वेशन में आयोडीन गैस नहीं है, ठीक है? So anything which is present on the opposite side should get cancelled out. Clear? थोड़ा सा गौर से इक्वेशन को देखना पड़ेगा, which equation is given and what you have to find out. Okay, have we done this one? किया था? देखिए, Q is equal to MC delta T का क्वेश्चन है. It's a calorimetric experiment. 1.6 gram of the fuel is burned. Okay. Now, 45% of the energy released absorbed by 200 gram of water, and temperature rises from 18 degree to 66 degree Celsius. देखो, ये सेटअप होता है enthalpy change of combustion find out करने का. This is the setup. ठीक है? You take any particular amount of fuel, you burn it, that energy is transferred into this. Let's suppose this is 200 grams of water, and there's a thermometer. You apply Q is equals to MC delta T on this water. We assume that all the energy released by the combustion transferred to water. So water का जितना temperature rise हो, हम कहेंगे इतनी energy release होगी. Clear? Although it has a heat losses as well. और फिर उसके बाद इस Q को you convert it into a kilojoules, माइनस साइन लगाते हैं और नंबर ऑफ मोल ऑफ फ्यूल से डिवाइड कर देते हैं. आपके पास एंथैल्पी चेंज ऑफ कंबस्शन आ गया. सही है? क्लियर है? अच्छा, अब यहां भी देखिए इस स्टेटमेंट, इस क्वेश्चन में So q m कितना है 200 multiply by the 4.2 is a c value multiply by 66 minus 18. So can you give me the q value? Joules. 320 joules. Okay. Now it says only 40%, 45% of energy is release is absorbed by water. So can I say that basically this is 45% कितना है 40320 100% कितना होगा 100% should be x. तो आपके पास 100% एनर्जी कितनी आएगी मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 डिवाइड बाय 89600 जूल्स. ठीक है क्लियर. अब हम कहेंगे 1.6 grams of the fuel release energy of 9600 joules. So 1 gram release of energy of x. इसको डिवाइड कर दीजिए 1.6 से. That's the right answer. Okay? नहीं, आंसर गलत होता, ऑप्शन में गिवन होता. देखो कैलकुलेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आर difficult. Why? Because if you skip one step and you think that that's the right answer, वो option में given होगा. Because this is basically only the 45%. Read the statement again. It says 45% of the energy released is absorbed by water. And इसके what is the total energy released per gram of the fuel? Okay? इसीलिए हमने एंड में से 1.6 से डिवाइड भी. This is a simple bond energy question, but you should know what is the bond. Yeah, and you can skip it for a while because this is related to hydration, so which is not a part of our syllabus anymore. देखें, in this question you can clearly see x, 2 atoms of x, 6 atoms of hydrogen के साथ मिलके X2H6 बना रहे हैं. Enthalpy change इतना given है. Clear? We know that the bond breaking minus bond formation is equals to delta H. Bond breaking तो यहाँ already हुई भी है, 0 लगाओगे. माइनस बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन, और अगर आप बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर एक बॉन्ड बनेगा XX का. ठीक है. और यहाँ पर 6 बॉन्ड बन रहे हैं X और हाइड्रोजन के. ठीक है. विच इज इक्वल्स टू डेल्टा H विच इज 2775. नाउ प्लग इन दीज वैल्यूज एंड गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ X. किसकी वैल्यू चाहिए? XX बॉन्ड. ये वैल्यू आपको चाहिए. 6 times of this value is given 395, which is equal to minus 2775, and you'll get the positive answer. I think positive 202 is the right answer for this one. Okay. Q is equal to MC delta D. This question is given. Which equation represents the enthalpy change of formation? Hurry up. A is wrong because carbon is in a B. Same reason की वजह से wrong है. C is the correct answer, but why D is wrong? Almost same है. Yes. First 4 hydrocarbons are gases. ठीक है. And then pentane onward liquid शुरू होते हैं. Formation की equation लिखेंगे and then you're going to solve it. So I think we probably did the most part of this. topic. Now in this one, इधर देखिए. This is a triangle given. This is, you will understand this triangle after doing organic. This is basically the structural form of this molecule. Okay? So make sure that you know that this is this molecule, a cyclic compound, a cyclic alkane. Now you can clearly see. Copy करें अपने पास. ठीक है? So this is called cyclopropane. Cyclopropane. They are alkane, but they have a cyclic structure. So you can see 3 carbon bond and 2 4 6 carbon hydrogen bond. 3 carbon bond है and 6 carbon hydrogen bonds. Done. So just keeping till here, we almost done the half of this worksheet, and you have to do the rest of the question. I'm sure that these are the similar type of question जो हम इससे पहले कर चुके हैं. Repeated हैं, उसी type के questions repeated हैं, and I'm sure that you can easily do it. So you can see this is the indirect route, and this one is direct. U is equals to V plus W. तो ये वैल्यू किसकी चाहिए? W की चाहिए? W की चाहिए ना? तो U minus V, है ना? ठीक है जी. So we done with enthalpy change and see you with the next topic inshallah.